Hey, 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 guess who's Bizak in his house? Your boy, Neki. It's pronounced next side, but the new Goosebumps is out. I've been waiting for this for like 2 years, and it's pretty good. So, here's the review. It definitely has some flaws, but overall it's amazing. It's unbalanced with constantly switching between a horror movie and a comedy movie. It's not a movie, but there's no other euphemism to use. But it constantly switches tones, and it's kind of annoying how sometimes it can be like really funny, and then sometimes it's like kind of genuinely scary. But it does the scary part really good. It gets decently spooky. It pulls off a satisfying, filling take on adapting the Goosebumps books while giving us a decent, likable character roster to join us in the ride. A lot of the characters are pretty decent. They're pretty likable, except for like one or two. But they don't feel that fleshed out yet. But granted, only half of the show is out, so they probably get fleshed out farther into the show. But so far, they feel kind of empty and hollow. That's one of the issues with the show. But one of the good things about the show is that they somehow managed to make it an anthology like the books without introducing new characters every episode. Instead, what they did is every episode they focus on each individual main character. So like there's multiple main characters, and then throughout the different episodes they focus on each one to make them the main character of those episodes, and they give them their own like little Goosebumps book to fight off, like Go Eat Worms, the Cuckoo Clock Tower of Doom, and some other one I've never read. But I love it. I love how they pulled off this anthology without actually making an anthology, and I love it. I don't really like anthologies that much. Like American Horror Story is notoriously terrible. Slasher is actually pretty good, but I don't really like anthologies that much. But this one, they slapped it out of the park with this one. They really did it good here, and I really want to see more anthologies pull this off. The only other show I've ever seen do this is Atlanta, which did the same thing with the multiple main characters, and then they immediately fell off the road in season 3. But yeah, the anthology part of this show, phenomenal. And also the cinematography is at candy too. I mean, look at this. It's beautiful. Everything is like dark and like shiny, and everything kind of looks like glossed over. And the cinematography is beautiful. It's akin to The Ring, which is a movie I fucking despise with every fiber of my being. But the cinematography is really nice. It has a whole tone to it, and I really like it. They pull off night really well. It's like really dark, but you can still see what's going on. And the cinematography is great. The lighting is great. The acting is kind of subpar, unfortunately. Like the opening scene that you're seeing right now, this is the opening scene of season 1, and it's like the acting's a little rough here. He kind of overacts sometimes, and then doesn't really react sometimes. I don't know. The acting in some parts is kind of subpar, and then sometimes it's actually really good. But no R.L. Stine. In the movies, in the Goosebumps movies, they integrated R.L. Stine into the actual plot of the movie. They made him a part of the Goosebumps story. If you don't know who R.L. Stine is, he's the author of the original books that this TV show is based off of. And they actually integrated him into the actual plot of the movie in the movies, not the TV show, in the movies, but they didn't do that here yet. It's possible he shows up in like the final episode, but I doubt it. They haven't talked about him yet, which is kind of fucked up. But overall, a lot of the characters felt hollow and not at all fleshed out or developed. And I know that's stupid to be complaining about, considering the fact that I've only watched half of the show, because only half of the show is out. But we'll see as the show comes out over the next 3 weeks. We'll see whether or not they become fleshed out. They probably will, and I hope they do. But overall, the 5 episodes that are out right now, 5 episodes are coming out later, are some of the best horror this year. I kid you not, it's some of the best horror this year. Granted, not that much horror has come out yet, but it's some of the best horror this year. Part 1 of Season 1 is a solid 8.5 out of 10 because of the cinematography. The characters are decently likable. It's fun. It gives off the fun, kind of campy feeling of the books while also giving a kind of darker take, which I really like. So overall, it delivers on the signature spooky goosebumps, conundrums, monsters, demons, and doodads. And quite frankly, I recommend it for anybody looking for something spooky to watch during this spooky season. Peace out.